Yo, what's good? NBA YouTube. It's your man 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Today, I think it is more than apropos on the verge of Game 3 for the Toronto Raptors and Philadelphia 76ers that we ask ourselves, are the Toronto Raptors in trouble? If you like this video, I want smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notification. Don't slap nothing. Smash it. Hit that like button. You know, when I was looking at my projection for what I thought this series was going to be, I had to largely look at the body of work that we saw throughout the regular season from both teams. And what we saw from both teams was a Toronto Raptors team that was extremely tight-knit. The continuity was incredible. Strong sense of identity, who they are, what they were going to do on the court. And they've been playing incredibly consistent basketball. The Philadelphia 76ers were almost the complete opposite. Continuity was shoddy at best. Guys were unsure of themselves and their roles and who was going to step up and do what in games. And we looked at their identity, you're vacillating between like, well, is this going to be a James Harden team? Is this going to be Joel Embiid? Joel Embiid taking a step back, encouraging James Harden. James Harden trying to figure himself out. Tyreese Maxey sitting on the outside like, hey, I used to be the number 2, now I'm the number 3. I was a point guard, and all of a sudden I'm playing off the ball. Who this team was largely still up in the air. And I thought that this was something that the Toronto Raptors were going to be able to exploit from the very beginning. I thought they were going to be able to come in, punch Philly in the mouth quickly, and then with their defense, keep them subdued and pull out a game in Philadelphia. Well, that did not happen. That did not happen. Unfortunately, the big three for the Toronto Raptors has not been able to lead that team up against the big three for the Philadelphia 76ers. And if I'm honest with you, it really isn't even a big three. It's really like a big two. It's like a big two. And the two guys I'm speaking of are Joel Embiid and Tyreese Maxey. You know, something I said in a previous video, you know, sometimes it's always nice when you get humbled as a critic and, you know, teams prove you wrong. And you have to sit back and be like, wow, okay, I didn't see that coming. But then every once in a while, you also get it dead on. You get it dead on. And I said in a previous video that for the Philadelphia 76ers to be successful, they were going to have to feature Tyreese Maxey as their number 2 option and as their main off-the-bounce playmaker or shot creator. And that's exactly what they've done. Toronto Raptors have done a great job in forcing Philadelphia to do so. But they could not have imagined Tyreese Maxey was going to respond in the way that he did. Tyreese Maxey, the first game, shot 67%, scoring 38 points. I think he shot 5 of 8 from 3. Extreme efficiency, low turnovers. I mean, the guy was just unstoppable. And then he followed that up with a game 2, another extremely efficient, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, almost a triple-double on 73% shooting. 50% from the three-point line, 3 of 6. I mean, these are like Ja Morant type numbers. Does he have the same talent as Ja Morant? No. Athletically, we all know Ja Morant is a freak. But Tyreese Maxey is not too far off. He doesn't have the same vertical, but damn it, he's got a vertical. Tyreese Maxey is causing havoc for the Toronto Raptors. And with the recent injuries to Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr., I think Trent is going to be able to make a return. But the previous injury to Scotty Barnes is a huge blow to what the Toronto Raptors could potentially do on defense to try to corral Tyreese Maxey and make adjustments. Yeah, you still got OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam, and you still got Precious Achiuwa and Fred VanVleet. But you also have to look at, they're going to be putting a lot of attention to Joel Embiid and James Harden. Now it becomes a pick your poison. Now you have to begin to think about, you have another all-star level talent who's running wild. How are you going to corral him? How are you going to corral him? Now, The benefit that the Toronto Raptors have here is that they're going back to Toronto. Playing in Toronto, I fully expect the efficiency of the Toronto Raptors main players to shoot back up. Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam had a rough second game, shooting 30% and 35% between the two of them. I think that gets back up to closer to the first game percentages of around 47 to 50-something%. But they're also going to be missing Scotty Barnes. Hopefully Gary Trent Jr. can make a return. But I'm curious, and this is where I need you all to chime in. Are we expecting Philadelphia to take a step back going into Toronto? Philadelphia is a team that historically has played extremely well at home. But for some reason, they seem to have some fresh legs. Doc Rivers doing the unthinkable, which pretty much everybody had a consensus saying that they were not going to do, which was bench DeAndre Jordan, play someone like Paul Reed, who's far more athletic, who's been waiting for his chance, who's hungry. And then they still have Tyreese Maxey. This team has gotten incredibly more athletic by the introduction of these two players being featured in their lineups. Now, another advantage that the Toronto Raptors have is that Matisse Thybulle, I'm not sure if he's been able to get his shots lined up in terms of his vaccination status and all of that, but he may not be able to play. And if he can't play going into Toronto, I definitely expect to see that impact in the Toronto offense and see them playing at a higher level. Now, do I think that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be reliant upon Matisse Thybulle? I mean, he only played 10 and a half minutes in the last game, and they still blew him out. Now, Toronto was able to hang around somewhat in that game, but as they go back to Toronto, I think we're going to see more Tyreese Maxey. I think we're going to see more James Harden. Matter of fact, I think Joel Embiid is going to have another big game. I think the first game he was kind of figuring things out between Tyreese Maxey and James Harden, taking a step back, as he probably should have, because his talent is something that he can flip that switch on more or less than any of the other two. But going into Toronto, they have to be extremely confident. And so I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Toronto turns things around and gets game 3? I think my personal prognosis is yes. I think they get game 3 because it's a must win. It is a must win. And I think the fans are going to be behind them. I think they're going to have Drake in their ear, amping them up. I think Toronto's going to play great. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Philly's going to win? Toronto's going to win? Who do you think is going to lead the day? If you like this video, smash that like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notification. Peace.